Hi, good afternoon, guys. So welcome to our webinar. So this session is going to be BBA Information Systems and Operation Management. So today, I'm going to talk to you guys about information systems for about 15 minutes, and then Sarah is going to share experience or it's about 15 minutes, and then I pass time to the operational management team. So they will present their program for about 15 minutes. And thereafter that, we all join together to have Q&A sessions. Hope that you could understand the session, right? Now, I would like to start with the BBIS. So BBIS means information systems. So do you have any idea what is the information system means? You don't have to look further. The session what we are going to have right now, we are using a kind of video conference. So it's the information systems what we are using. And again, you guys always interact nowadays with the JUPAS system, right? So JUPAS system is again information systems, right? So you have your own email. What is email? Again, information systems. So information systems has become a part of our lives. Of course, 15, 20 years ago, we could live without information system, right? But now it's difficult. It's become a part of our life. So we need to eat, we need to breathe, right? We need to drink water, and we need to have clothes. And at the same time, we need systems to help us. Otherwise, we have to go to the jungle and do meditation. If we are living in this current world, we are living with information systems. We can't. Can you guys get away with your mobile phone? Of course not, right? So what is inside the mobile phone? I'll talk to you guys later. That is a lot of apps, right? What is apps means? Again, information systems. So that's why information systems are very important. Information systems become very, very important part of our lives. It's not that. Think about the billionaires. We have it around, right? So closest to us is Jack Ma. He became a billionaire within months, not years, right? So traditional billionaires that we had, Nikashi, he took about decades to become a billionaire. But those people who's dealing with information systems can become a billionaire. So who's the richest man in the world? The person that in charge of owning the Amazon.com. What does Amazon.com means? It's an information systems. So if you want to be the fastest billionaire, youngest billionaire, what you guys choose? You guys choose SIS as your major. I think it's very clear to you guys now. Okay. So if you look at Facebook, you can come up with hundreds of examples where the people become billionaires much faster than anyone else. So that's why information systems become one of the most sought after major in the entire business school. So now, next thing what you guys would like to see is this. If you guys chosen IS as one of your major, and then you study here for 4 years, and after that you graduate, right? After graduate, you guys would like to find work. Obvious, right? That's why you are going to stay here. Now, look at here. The list of career opportunities that you might have by studying information systems. So for example, the number one is fintech. What does fintech means? Financial technology. What is the big deal of financial technology? Our entire financial industry is transforming now. Do you guys know that? You guys can open a bank account just using your mobile phone. We call it virtual bank, right? You can just open it. The virtual bank supports information systems. Without information systems, definitely you can't do it. So you don't have to go. Now again, what is the fintech? Because if you look at the current banks, think about their cost. The majority of their cost is they are paying for the employees. Because the employees, their salaries are very high in Hong Kong. So if we can shift everything to the system, then definitely bank can give that their profit back to the customers. So that means customers will be get a more competitive products, cheaper products, and better interest rates. So the second one is I talk about cybersecurity. Cybersecurity is also extremely important. And third one is what information auditing and security. Now what happened is this, we are trying to depending on the information systems, right? So when we try to depend on information systems, there should be somebody who should go there and check the information system, right? Sometimes systems might go wrong. You might have heard a lot of examples where some systems has gone wrong. So then there should be somebody has to go and check the information system. That is IS auditor. So we do have a very important part of our IS program, BBIS program is information IT consultant. Yes, definitely there are a lot of opportunities out there. Technology and innovation management, technology entrepreneurships. All these are extremely important part of our lives. So that is why there are a lot of lists go on and on. Now, the next question that you would ask yourself is this. Like, what is the difference between IS and CS? And I'm from maybe the science background, art background. Would IS be a good choice for me? So first, I would like to say about the difference between CS and IS. Look at a mobile phone. What's a mobile phone? We have a lot of hardware inside, correct? There are a lot of chips inside. And there's an operating system, right? This is my mobile phone is Samsung. That means we have Android operating system. Who create all this stuff? CS guys, right? So CS guys create the software, hardware, and what IS guys do, make the phone is much more usable and create apps. Then the apps are going to be useful for your life. So you are not using a phone now just to make a phone call, right? So what is important in your mobile phone is the apps, WhatsApp, Viber, WeChat, right? Understand? And all this stuff. So this is the mobile phone. Simple example where IS is what IS do is to take the CS guys hardware and of course operating systems, and we make it and make your business better. So this is what IS means. Simple example. At the same time, whether you guys need to have any prior knowledge to take IS. That's a question you're always asking. A lot of time asking. Look, let me tell you about myself a bit. I've been teaching in university for more than 21 years. So when I first came to university, you guys have never, anyone of you guys born? Not really. So I joined here before you guys born. So I'm going to share my experience with you guys for last 21 years. In fact, I'm the most longest serving undergraduate program coordinator in the entire university, HKUST. So with my experience, I've seen students coming and graduating and finding jobs, getting married, they're having kids. So I see all this transformation with the kids. So with all this experience, I would like to share with you guys that IS becoming a very important part of our lives. So whether you have any programming knowledge or any knowledge, doesn't matter, because we teach from the very basics in any class. So we have a lot of students from maybe the arts background and then maybe that science background. Still, all right, you guys can do it. Okay, so this slide is talking about interest recognition for our students. So basically, our students compete with other students in other universities in Hong Kong. We had about 60, 70 competitors. So you can see that 16, 17, and 18, that our students always do very good. So that means our students can always compete with other ones. And the training what we are giving to our students, definitely not for any. Okay, and then of course one of the very important thing what we have is about 1 year internship. So our students, almost about say 50%, close to 40 to 50%, our first major students managed to get into 1 year placement. What is the big deal of 1 year placement? The big deal is after you complete the 1 year placement, you get a return offers, a lot of companies, so that you come back to the university at the end of the year 3, and then you have peace of mind. Look here, after I complete my final year, I'll be having a job. It's a big deal, right? Yes. Definitely, yes. So that's something that always students would like to say. So here we have a list of some of the companies that we have it for the industries that we have it, right? So it is something very important part, right? So you're going to share with your experience later on. So that's one of the very important things that students look into all the time. And then look at here. Our students graduate and go to work in workplace, right? So when we go in workplace, the employees are going to give feedback on how they feel about the training they get into. Now you can see that. So employee feedbacks, they're versatile, communication efficiently, and creative thinkers, problem solvers. So that is the training that you guys will get after completing your BBIS program, right? So now, is it professional? It's just a degree, or is it professional? Yes, here we have opportunity here. So we have 2 basic options within our program: business analytics, and then of course, as I mentioned to you, information systems auditing. So information systems auditing is actually, we are pioneer in information systems auditing. So me as UG coordinator, we created what we call ISACA model curriculum more than 10 years ago, and we were the first program to do it in the entire Asia Pacific. So we are always leading and try to give best competitive advantage to our students. That's we always keep adding to the cutting edge technology courses to our students, that when you guys graduate, you guys will be definitely going to be competing the world. So that's very important. That you guys, everything's aligned with with you guys. So we can say that for different programs like accounting, we have CPA, finance, we have CFA, and information systems, we do have a CIS examination. So in fact, 2 years ago, one of our students became world number one. He was so far only one in entire Greater China to become world number one in CIS exam. Nobody, even mainland China, has become world number one so far. So that is the training we are giving to our students. We always, you can see that our students can compete the CIS examination much faster than anyone else within the in Hong Kong or any other places. So that's the advantage we are going to give. So I'm sure that you guys would like to talk to us, send a message to us, get some more information from us about whatever the doubts you guys have it. I would be more than happy. My name is Percy. You can see that percy@usd.hk, and my mobile number is my phone number is there, my office number. Feel free to talk to me, send a message, and always I would be more than happy to talk to you guys and answer any questions you do have it when you guys think about the major. Okay, so now I would like to pass the time to Sarah to talk about the experience that you have.
Thank you, Percy. Hello, everyone. My name is Sarah, and I'm currently a Year 3 student majoring in Information Systems and Marketing. Today, I would like to share my personal experience in studying IS, and I hope that it will give you some insights in choosing your own major. As the world advances into an era that it emphasizes big data, innovation, and fintech, there's a surge of students who are interested in studying IS. I guess some of you may feel a bit hesitant because IS is something new to you. That was how I felt 2 years ago. But now I am confident to say that majoring in IS is one of the best decisions that I ever made.
Yeah, I feel happy that.
Yeah. First of all, studying IS is very rewarding. Creating some solutions for different business problems give me a sense of achievement. For instance, we learn about a lot of data mining models to solve different real-life business dilemmas. And the sense of achievement is a huge power source that keeps me going. On top of that, I think IS is highly practical because IS students are usually well-equipped with those analytical skills and also critical mindset. Both the technical and also the soft skills gained are applicable in various career paths. I can still vividly remember that during my internship, I worked on a research project about Hong Kong startups and also investors. And our ultimate aim was to build an online documentary and directory using those research materials. And the original manual uploading process takes about 1 week, which is rather long. But using my IS skills, I changed the system and the database and automated the whole uploading process. And so the process was then speed up to 1 day instead of a week. And I was super happy because my knowledge was put to good use in the industry, and also my work was highly appreciated by my manager. This precious working experience demonstrates how knowledge in the lecture are much more than black and white words, and it indeed raises the competitiveness of those students when it actually comes to work. And apart from that, I think IS is really interesting because you may think that IS is only about technology and it would be a bit boring to you. In fact, this is not the case because technology is only the language or the tool to solve the business problem. To really deal with the business problems, we have to understand the business issue and requirements, and also we have to design and evaluate the system to match with the business goal. For example, one of the assignments that I have done is 2048 game, and I guess most of you are familiar with it because it's once very popular. Apart from designing those code to run the game, we also have to design the user interface, and I think creativity is needed to make the software look good for the users. And in this case, I think creativity makes the course really interesting. And also, many professors in the lecture will introduce some real-life examples. Once we discuss Duolingo, Walmart, and Amazon's these cases, we should even try out and download the app Duolingo to find out if there are any improvement can be made. And see, information system is something more than just technology. So to conclude, I would say information system can meet your expectation if you are someone finding for both fun and challenges. I would highly encourage you to choose information system as your own major, and I couldn't emphasize enough on how rewarding, practical, and interesting ISS. So thank you, and hope to see you all in the UST in the future.
Thank you very much, Sarah. So I think that you don't have any doubts about IS round right now. So BBA will come back again for the Q&A session. Now I would like to pass the time to Professor Lau to talk about operation management. Please, Ron.
Hi. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this webinar on the BBA session. You see this picture here? We just celebrate our 25th anniversary. My name is Ronald Lau. I'm the UG program coordinator for the OM program. And today I also have Cyril Tong, he's a current student, and he also will share from his side of the wheel of the studying the OM, right? I'm not so sure you understand what is operation management about, but to put it in a very simple way, operation is about getting done. If you have no work experience before, then what I can tell you is OM is about how to run a business. In fact, when you join our program, you're going to realize everything we teach you will be so practical, because you're going to need every tools, every concepts, every techniques you need to run a successful real business. So if you ask, why have to choose BBA OM, then I have many reasons to tell you. But first of all, you have to understand operation is one of the 3 most value-adding functions in any organization. It doesn't matter it's a manufacturing companies, it's a service companies, or just even government, all right? They always have 3 most value-added functions. The first one is about the idea of the business, what you're trying to do. That usually come from R&D, or maybe just a group of high-level, managers and so on. We also need marketing, so we need to know who are our customers and what what kind of price supposed to charge. How can we reach out to these customers and so on. But more importantly, how are you going to deliver? Okay, so in a sense, operation is to get everything done. We are talking about quality control. We can talk about inventory management. We can talk about scheduling. We can talk about service, and all of this. So operation is very important, because this is what the customer is willing to pay for, right? So when you buy anything, next time you think about what's the reason behind you make this decision. Maybe because of the design, maybe the features, maybe because of the brand name, and also because of the quality, and also because someone makes sure you have the right product at the right place at the right time for you. That's all about operations. And on the other hand, there's many levels of operations. So when we talk about how to transform or translate the business strategy into execution, a lot of time company may have a good idea, but they don't know how to do about. So operation will establish this linkage. Now, if you want to know what kind of OM related jobs, well, it depends on what perspective you are using. We can look at different type of responsibility in operations. So you may be involved in planning or directing, scheduling, and so on, or coordinating different functions. Or we can also talk about in a different value chain, right? From the R&D, sourcing, production, all the way to distribution and after sales service. And we also can look at OM from the industry perspective. So we can get job in manufacturing, maybe logistics in Hong Kong, especially in financial, and retail and so on. Even government, they need a lot of people to run the operation, obviously. And then you can talk about the career path. Some people may start out as a supervisor role and then continue to promote to maybe even COO, the Chief Operating Officer, and beyond. So what I can tell you is there's a lot of well-paying and rewarding jobs out there, but you need to be qualified and also be prepared. So what can we help you? Well, we help you to prepare for your future career. Our OM curriculum is pretty straightforward. We have only 2 required courses and 4 electives for you to choose, and so you will be able to fulfill our major. The 2 required courses are the business modeling and optimization. From that course, you're going to learn, to be one of the experts in using Excel, right?
Yes.
And then, you'll find a lot of companies actually will need this kind of people. Cyril right now is working on a project. I think later on he can share with you, how useful this kind of concept and the tools he learned from this course. And then the other one is global supply chain management. So in a sense, a company's success is not just because they're doing things right. That's important, but is everyone along the supply chain also need to do the right things in order to be successful. So nowadays, it's not one company competes with another company. We're talking about one supply chain competes with another supply chain, right? After these 2 required courses, you have 4 elective courses to take, and they are different varieties. Some of them focus more on lectures, concepts. Some of them are more like what we call quantitative, right? Some actually focus on case studies, even projects, and so on. So you do have a lot of choices. The question for you will be, is BBA OM really right for you? Now, in our field, we have to make all kinds of decisions, strategic, tactical, or even operational decisions. And all the decisions can make or break the company. So the question is, are you ready, to make this kind of decision? Are you a critical thinker? Can you think analytically? Are you have a good communication skill? Because sometimes we have a good idea. We still need to learn how to convince other people. We talk about teamwork here, and not to forget technology nowadays plays such an important part in running operations. So in a sense, you also need to learn how to align the people, process, and technology together in order to get the most efficiency out of the system. Right? Of course, we also emphasize a lot on projects and case studies and all of this. We want to make sure you learn the most practical skill and knowledge, and you're ready for the challenge in the workplace. Now, of course, there are many other reasons. I hope we have more time to share with you, but your question we can always answer later on. By the way, don't wait until the end of our talk, before you send in all the questions. You can go ahead and type your questions, and then we'll answer it one by one later on. In the end, what I can tell you is this is the motto for our program. We invest a lot of time and resources on our students because we believe your success is our success. Okay, right now, I would like to pass the time to Cyril, and he can share with you his own experience with our program.
Thank you, Ronald, and I'm Cyril. I'm glad to be here as a student representative of OM program to share with you my student life to you. Firstly, let me introduce myself. I was admitted to HKUST in 2016 through the program of Business and Management, and I'm now currently a final year student. I declared my first major, BBA OM, at the end of the first semester of year 2. So why did I choose OM? Before studying the introductory course of Operations Management, I knew nothing about OM. But during the course, I found that the concept I have learned are actually very interesting and closely related to everyday life. Take a real-life situation as an example. Imagine you are in a supermarket. Which form of queuing, a common queue or the multiple queues, will allow a quicker access to the cashier? In other words, a shorter waiting time. I think today, Ronald and I'm not going to provide you with the answer. But what I really want to tell you is that OM really teaches me how to solve such kind of problem. And during the learning, I found that OM actually provides me with a lot of analytical skills and managerial insights that necessary to critically analyze an operations decision or practice. So what does OM provide to me? Before studying operations management, actually I knew nothing about Excel, the basic formula or the basic function in Excel. But after studying the course of business modeling and optimization, I learned a lot of useful functions that I can perform spreadsheet modeling to solve a lot of problems. I even utilized the analytical skills in my internship, which was highly appreciated. Of course, the analytical tool I've learned is not only limited to Microsoft Excel, there are a lot more. And also, OM provides me with a real-world experience to apply what I've learned. Currently, in this semester, I'm engaging in an operations management project, which I have to work for Taiwan Laundry of Hospital Authority of Hong Kong. Under the fluctuation of patient number and the increasing hospital activities, I have to help the organization to seek improvement on how to provide a more efficient provision of linen to satisfy the patient demand. Apart from academic aspect, there are also a lot of professional and career support from OM program. There was a firm visit last year. I went to the airport cargo terminal and that I really learned how the company conduct logistics of cargoes, and I've also joined the OM mentorship program for 2 years. My mentor is a senior engineer from a very famous express delivery courier, FedEx. He provides me with a lot of career advice while searching a graduate job. And also, there was a professional training workshop. At that day, I have to run a simulation on running a business in which there are lots of business strategy and marketing strategy I have to consider. I think that was a great experience because I really can feel how satisfied and difficult on running a business. So apart from some personal professional development, there were also some entertainment events. Every semester, OM conduct a semester gathering for students to stay connected with each other. I think that was great, and I think it's fun and enjoyable. It's almost the end of my sharing, but I would like to have a final word is that BBA OM not only provides me with skills and knowledge, but also enriches my university life. Thank you. Hope to see you in the future courses. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Cyril, for sharing your sides of the story. May I now invite the IS group also come and join us, and so we can have the Q&A. All right.
Thank you, Ronald.
All right.
So it's fantastic presentation. So I think it's for us to talk to you guys about your questions, answering your questions. And then, of course, some questions probably to OM, some could be IS. So we are here to ask any questions you have it. But of course, you remember that you do have our contact numbers, right? So, sorry, contact email addresses, even phone numbers. So feel free to contact us even after this session so that we can be in touch. And then if you have any questions comes to you in the future, we are more than happy to answer your questions. Yeah. So the first question that we received, do I need to take extra courses to fulfill the study of the 2 options? Okay, so that's the first question I ask. I think I would like to tell you first about how to complete the IS major program. That means there are required courses, there are electives. So there are altogether 10 credits of required courses, 3 of them. And there are 10 credits of electives, it's 20 altogether. That is one of the lowest in the entire business school. And then if you wanted to take options, you have to take extra courses. That means courses that you need to fulfill the options cannot be double counted. That means each option means 2 courses means 6 credits. So one option you have to take extra 6, and another option extra to the 6. The next question that you ask is, can I declare both options in business analytics and information systems? Yes, it's very popular. Because while you are studying in the university, you don't know what you're going to do in the future, right? So that means you'd like to keep your options open all the time. So a lot of students go for both options, take extra 6 credits and 12 credits. So that's, of course, it's up to your choice, whether you take both or not, but definitely you can do it. So now I would like to pass time to
Okay,
Ronald.
there's a question about, are there any options of study under BBA OM program? Yes, we have two different options if you choose a BBA OM. The first one is option in business analytics. What you need to do is take two extra required courses. One is data mining, the other one is decision analytics. And then you select 4 elective courses from a list of courses, mainly more quantitative courses. The other one will be introduced next year. It's a new option that's called supply chain and logistic management. And in that case, you will need to have extra required course that's called logistic management. Okay. I think the next question asks, what's the program size of IS and OM? Let me speak for OM first. We have 140 together next year. So 70 will be the first major and 70 for the additional major. And for IS?
Thanks, Ron. So for the size of IS program, so of course we have, that in the business school we have first majors and second majors, right? So we have the 100 first major quota and 80 second major quota. But what I'm saying, you guys, is that IS is one of the very popular major in the business school. So if you would like to choose IS as your major, it's very competitive. So my advice for you guys is try to choose IS as the program-based admission, so that you don't have to go through with the process of going through and the selecting factor. Okay, it's going to be the next question we're asking is that if I'm admitted to a school first and select the major later, what's the criteria for declaring IS and OM? So let me talk about IS first, and then I'll pass time to Ron. So the selection criteria is the course that we teach in the fundamental course. That's a course called Introduction to Information System, rather. So your grades of Introduction to Information System is going to be the most deciding factor. And then, of course, we could have tiebreaker called BCGA. So that means if there is 2 students with the same grade and we have a limited quota, then tiebreaker will be the BCGA. That BCGA means basically how you perform in the entire business school, we call business school courses. So my advice for you guys is try with program-based admission if possible. Yes.
For OM 0, you just declared major last year. Do you still remember what it is?
Yes, I have my introductory course of OM, and I obtained a grade around B+. So
That's pretty good,
yes.
because you need to have at least C+ in order to qualify to declare OM as your major. But I would say at least B- would be safer. Right. Okay. The next question is the IS question.
Yes, right. So there's a question about will IS students be less competitive than CS major? All right. So I think this is a very good question, I would say. Okay. So you understand that IS is in the business school, CS in the science school, correct? So we are not producing programmers, remember that. Our program means, as I mentioned to you, remember? So CS guys develop the hardware, develop the software. And what IS guys do is to take the hardware and software, they develop it, they apply this to solve the business problems. So that's why we are in the business school. You understand? So our students may not be very, very big programmers, definitely not. We are not giving them that training at all. What we are training them is both things. Bridge the gap between technology and business. We know both. Our students know both. So when there is the business problems there, talk to technology guys, ask them to develop the system and solve the business problem. That's what we do. All right. So now the next question, I think I would like to let Ronald to answer the first.
Yeah, I can tell some of you are pretty attentive because you noticed for both IS and OM, we have an option in business analytics. So how are they different? Well, let me speak for the OM side. In order to create this particular business analytics option, we focus on 4 areas. The first one is decision model. The next one is optimization technique. And then we have a statistical, analysis. And finally, technology. So when we select the courses for the student to choose from the elective courses, we focus on these 4 areas. But it's up to the student, they may want to pick something more on statistical models or decision models and so on. So this is the OM way of doing the business analytics.
Right, so it's about IS. So of course, we do have both business analytics. So I think the OM side has a lot of experts in statistics, so modeling of the data. So that is the main focus on, I think, the OM's data analytics. But ours, the main focus is going to be how this data analytics can be integrated into the business systems, and then how we can get a better decision making with looking at those data. So that's what we do, as remember. So we always try to get help from the other parties, other schools, science schools, and then let them to develop the data, a good data for us, and then we use those data to make the business decision making. So our main focus is going to be how data can be used to solve business decision making. So that's what our main focus could be. I think the next question is for
the next
right?
question is for OM. I can see it now. This is a question from the audience. Can I say OM does not only use IT to solve efficiency problems, but also process improvement? And technology is only tools, right? Okay, for your first question, of course, OM is more than just solve the efficiency problems, because from the design, monitoring, improvement, all these are important aspects of operation management. And we can use the technology to improve efficiency. At the same time, we can make process improvement. You can just imagine, how technology has changed the way we run business. Think about banks, think about airlines. Over the years, you can tell technology play a very important role, right? Nowadays, you go to the airport, you won't need, paper ticket. That's already a big improvement. And then the entire process can be automated. Okay, and so technology is the tool. And if you still remember what I mentioned earlier, OM is about to emphasize the alignment of people, process, and technology. Over the years, operation more focused on the process side, but technology now already embedded in the operations. But the most challenging part is how to change people, how to change the workers, and how to change even the customers, so they can take advantage of the new type of process and the new type of technology. So I hope that will answer your question. For the next one is about the exchange program. Do students of IS and OM go to exchange program usually? Well, maybe we will let the student talk about this, okay? So you want to go first?
Sure. Okay. I think School of Business and Management provide chances for students from every major to have exchange program chances. So I went to exchange last semester. I went to Hungary, and it is a great place because people there are having a more proactive learning attitude than Hong Kong students, which I have learned from them. And yes, during the exchange program, I also went traveling to different European countries, and that was a great experience. Yes, it's a great one. How about Sarah?
I'm going to have my exchange program in the next semesters, and I'm going to Warwick Business Schools. And I guess some of you may wonder if I can study IS or OM course there. And there are indeed a lot of IS and OM program there. And so I guess if you go to exchange, you can still study some courses about IS or OM.
So you can transfer back to your studies. Yes, that is the beauty of you guys go somewhere else, have fun, right? At the same time, you credits that you earn and transfer back. At the same time, you are paying tuition for USD, right? So it is something that very special in our business school that you have.
Even if you can't take any IS and OM courses over there.
But still, you have fun.
Yeah. You can come back and take hours, right?
Exactly.
You should take the opportunity when you go to a different place. For example, you go to Hungary, I'm pretty sure there's something very famous in that place. You go to Warwick, it's in UK. There's a lot of cultural elements you can learn from. Okay, I wish, when I was young, I could go to France, I could learn how to appreciate wine better.
Yeah, that's true. So next question is for IS. FinTech, be a future trend in IS majors? Definitely yes. So, you know what is financial technology means, right? So as I mentioned to you before, the financial industry is totally transforming now. And as I mentioned to you, now you open your account just using mobile phone. We call virtual banks, right? And then most of about 5 years ago, in the past, we always have to go to the banks to do the business or do the whatever transactions. Now we start with e-banking. That means you can use your laptop to use it. And then we have a mobile banking, use your mobile phones. Now it's not only the banking service. You open a bank account. You do everything, no branches at all. Definitely IS is going to put a lot of effort. Not only that, remember, so sometimes you have to make an investment. You go to the banks and there are investment advisors. That's going to be a thing of the past. Now we have robo advisors. So they can advise better than what we human beings could do. And then when you do the trading, we always keep calls. Now we don't have to make a phone call. We have a robo tradings. Yes. So all these things are covered in our BBIS program courses. So this is a cutting edge, and we keep it. Actually, some of the fintech courses we introduced just last semester. Right. So actually, I'm into fintech as well. If you go to the Coursera, one of the online platform, you could see that my own course on fintech is there. So this is our contribution to society, as well as our students always give competitive advantage. That's a question for OMS.
Oh yes, the question is about the career prospect of the BBA OM graduates, and they also want to see any examples. Well, the thing about OM, the operations is one of the 3 most value-adding functions in the organization. Obviously, there's a lot of job openings, to get things done, right? You can look at it from the different industry point of view. In Hong Kong, we can think about financial, logistics, and then we have retail and all of this. And you can imagine most of the resources actually devoted to operations. You go to the bank, you're going to see the teller, right? Logistics for sure. They also people need to run the warehouse, the trucks and so on. Now, of course, we are not here to train you, to send you to the factory to do all this manual work. We do have people do this kind of work, but I'm pretty sure the work will be automated, very sure. But we need someone, be able to design, the system, and then to monitor the performance, and also be able to improve on it. Okay, and of course, in the entire value chain, there's a many job opportunity from the design, from the sourcing, purchasing, the operations, productions, distribution. You can find a lot of jobs out there, and our graduates never have problem to find jobs, in all kinds of industry in Hong Kong. Many of them working in the banks or logistic companies, or even airlines, or some big, retail companies as well.
Thank you, Ronald. So that's one question about from you guys. How long will internship take place usually? So you know that almost half of our first major students go for internships. So that's a very important part, for something very special in our BBIS program. So there are different kind of internships. Majority go for 1 year. Some students go for 1 semester. Some do winter, some do summer, right? So it's depending on your interest. But of course, as I mentioned to you, we always encourage students to have that particular experience, because the best thing is return offer. So a lot of companies give this return offer so that you have a job waiting for you until you finish your graduation. So that is something that I always encourage. And of course, that is very, very helpful for you all. And I think in terms of percentage of number of students who go for internships, I would say, seriously, IS is one of the highest in the entire university.
We have been spending a lot of time talking about academic jobs.
Exactly.
Maybe some of the audience actually want to hear from the students.
Yes.
How is your student life experience at HKUST? you want to, maybe Sarah, you can start first.
To share some of my personal experience, maybe I will say, because I am the IS student ambassador, I helped the IS department once organize the graduation dinner, and I participated and I met a lot of alumni and a lot of professors, and I enjoyed the dinner a lot. And also I joined a few workshops organized by the IS department, like the alumni sharing workshops. How about you?
I think there is a claim that in the university, students must pursue a part-time job to earn money. So I did a part-time job in UST. I was a student helper in the office of the Dean of Students, and I was responsible for helping them to promote the program of Summer Institute, which provides some learning experience for secondary school students in university. I help them to construct, design some promotion materials. I think that was a great experience because I learned to create my own promotion material. I think that really pushed up my creativity a lot, and it was rewarding because my design can be published to the public. And yes, a lot of secondary school students come to the program. I think that's quite rewarding for me.
Well, you know what? Our time's running short now. For those questions we haven't answered, don't worry. We'll follow up with email, and in case you want to reach out to us, it's all very easy. UST.HK, there's a very famous, website anyway. And then from there, you can always look for ISOM, that's our department. And then if you have other questions, or you can't tell, where to direct the question to, you can always send it to the UG office, and I'm pretty sure people will, or the admission office, they will respond to you very quickly. Okay.
Great to have you guys. So I think you know that you have our contact information. Feel free to contact us. We'll be more than happy to answer any of the questions you have it, and look forward to see them again in UST, right?
Yeah,
in our BBA IS and OM programs, right? So we work together. IS and OM, we are brothers, sisters. We are in the same department. So we work in same together. So we are same department. So look forward to see you guys in UST. And you know that SBM, HKUST Business School is the best, very best. So you have to make your judgment for your future, right? You guys agree?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, we wish you all a good day. Thank you, and bye-bye.
Bye-bye.